How do you see the world? As a friendly place or a battlefield of competing interests? So much of our daily stress and anger comes from our assumptions about other people's intentions. We get cut off in traffic, a friend is late, and we immediately assume the worst. The Stoics offered a different path, a path of radical generosity, self-reflection, and practical kindness. Today, we'll explore how to give others the benefit of the doubt, how to be a true friend, and how to build the habits that make us better people. Give people the benefit of the doubt. Everything is based on conviction, and that depends on you. Therefore, eliminate your preconceived notion whenever you wish, and, like a sailor who has rounded the rocks, you will find tranquility, calm seas, and a quiet harbor. Marcus Aurelius Meditations. The U.S. Supreme Court Justice Oliver Wendell Holmes Jr. once remarked, "Even a dog distinguishes between being stumbled over and being kicked. And yet, if you've ever accidentally stepped on your dog, you know that its first reaction is usually a bark, a yelp, or a snap of the teeth. In that moment, there is no distinction. There is only its pain. Then it sees who stepped on it, hears your soothing, guilty voice, and starts wagging its tail again. A virtuous person is slow to judge others. They think things through and offer many interpretations of an event. It was an accident, the person didn't know, it won't happen again." Such an approach makes life easier and makes us more tolerant. Meanwhile, perceiving what happened as malicious intent is the most hasty of judgments, and it complicates everything significantly. Be mindful. Listen to your inner voice when it comes to other people, and you will find, as Marcus Aurelius says, calm waters and tranquility. Spread the word. Some people of special talent grasp without long instruction all that is usually taught, and absorb the rules of honesty as soon as they hear them. But with others who are weak and dull or enslaved by bad habit, the rust on their souls must be scrubbed away for a long time. However, by teaching the fundamental principles of philosophy, one can both lift the well-inclined to the summit more quickly and help the weaker ones and deliver them from their corrupt opinions. Seneca, Moral Letters to Lucilius. This mindset of giving others the benefit of the doubt is the first step. But what if we can do more? What if, having found a philosophy that brings us peace, we have a chance to share it with others? Stoicism is not an evangelical religion. You are not obligated to save anyone. There is no risk of going to hell if a soul remains ignorant of the teachings of Epictetus or Marcus Aurelius. But now that you have learned and studied a better way, you can be useful to others. You can share your wisdom or ideas with a friend or a stranger, remembering that behavior is a better example than a lecture. Everyone deserves the opportunity to benefit from the principles of philosophy, as Seneca said. If you see someone in need of help or asking for advice, help them. You owe it to them, the benefit of kindness. Let a good deed be like a deeply buried treasure, which can only be retrieved in case of extreme necessity. Nature commands me to be useful to people. The opportunity for charity presents itself wherever there is a human being. Seneca on the happy life. And this sharing doesn't have to be a formal lecture on philosophy. In fact, Seneca suggests that every single person we meet offers an opportunity for a much simpler, more profound exchange, an act of kindness. The first person you meet today, a passing acquaintance or a friend, no matter the context, positive or negative, will be that very object of charity. Or, as other translators of this passage from Seneca write, an opportunity for benefit. And for both of you, you can try to understand where the person is from, who they are, what they need, and how forces and motivations might affect them. And you can treat them well and become a better person for it. The same applies to the second person you meet and the third. Of course, there is no guarantee that they will return the kindness, but that is not our concern. As always, we will focus on what is within our power, in our case, the ability to respond with kindness. Frenemies. There is nothing more abominable than a wolf's friendship. Avoid it above all. A good, benevolent, and sincere person, you will know by their eyes. These qualities cannot be hidden. Marcus Aurelius Meditations. This practice of kindness is especially important in our closest relationships. But sometimes even friendships can be a source of pain. It is quite obvious that we should stay as far away as possible from bad and duplicitous people, the jealous friend, the narcissistic parent, the unreliable partner. At first glance, Marcus Aurelius is reminding us to avoid false friends. But what if we turn this question around? What if, instead, we ask about the times when we ourselves have been the false friends? In the end, this is what Stoicism is about, not judging the behavior of other people, but our own. We have all, at one time or another, been a frenemy to someone. We said one thing to their face, usually for our own benefit, and later, in different company, expressed what we truly felt. Or we fooled someone, cared only when things were going well, refused to help even when help was needed. Such behavior is beneath our dignity, and it's worth remembering the next time we accuse someone of being a bad friend. Good habits crowd out bad ones. And since habit has a leading force, and we are accustomed to using impulse and avoidance only in relation to all that, we should oppose this habit with a contrary habit, and where the impressions are very unstable, oppose it with vigorous exercise and action. Epictetus, Discourses. Confronting the times we've been a bad friend can be uncomfortable. It reveals our own bad habits and negative patterns. So how do we fix them? Epictetus gives us a brilliant strategy, not of fighting our flaws head-on, but of replacing them. When a dog barks loudly because someone is at the door, the worst thing you can do is shout. To the dog, it looks like you are barking too. When a dog runs away, there's no use in chasing it, it looks like you are both running. The best option in both scenarios is to give the dog a command to do something else. Tell it to sit or go to its place. Run in the other direction. Break the pattern, interrupt the negative impulse. The same applies to ourselves. When a bad habit appears, counteract it with an opposite good one. For example, today you notice that you are procrastinating. Don't dwell on it or fight it. Get up and take a walk to clear your head and reset. If you notice yourself saying something negative, don't beat yourself up. Add something positive and good to soften your remark. Fight established habits and counteract them to make progress. If you find yourself cutting corners in a workout or a project, tell yourself, all right, then I'll do more or better. Good habits can crowd out bad ones. And as we know, habits are easily learned. It all starts with a simple choice, to see a stumble instead of a kick. From that single shift in perspective flows everything else. The desire to share, the impulse to be kind, the courage to examine our own friendships, and the wisdom to build better habits. This is the Stoic way of changing the world, not through grand gestures, but through countless small, conscious actions. If you want to continue this practice of building a better self, subscribe to the channel, and let's walk this path together.